Pointless fact of the day. Which version of Windows 98 has double the trouble and double the fun at the same time? Well, it's Windows 98 Second Edition. Yeah, pointless fact out of the day. Now it's over to Padster. What's up, peeps? It's your boy Padster, the awesome dude. Welcome back to Padster Tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to install Windows 98 Second Edition on VMware. And before you put on your nerd emoji and say, "Oh, but didn't you type it? But didn't you do a Windows 98 tutorial?" Yeah, but that was Windows 98 First Edition. I'm doing Windows 98 Second Edition, which is completely different. So, without further ado, let's begin the installation. So first thing we got to do is create a new virtual machine and custom advanced. You need workstation 17.5 or later. So it's Windows 98. And of course, customize hardware, we need to add a floppy drive. And that floppy drive is for a good reason later on. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to install MS-DOS 7.1. But this is completely optional if you want to install MS-DOS 7.1. So we got Windows 98 ready. And I'm going to grab the Sound Blaster thing. It'll be provided in the description below, but if you just want to install it, just there we go. Also, I'm gonna add this command line to my machine, just like what I did with the first edition tutorial. So I'm just going to Notepad, grab this, and then we'll add that command line there. And then save, and kablamo, we so let me check if I have it. Tutorials, next. Perfect. Now we can install MS-DOS 7.1. So if you want to install MS-DOS 7.1, which is completely optional, or MS-DOS 6.22, links will be in the description for the tutorials. So I'm just gonna skip ahead as soon as I finish my MS-DOS 7.1 installation. Okay, so now that I've finished MS-DOS 7.1, we can now begin our installation of Windows 98 Second Edition. So as you can see, we're booting into MS-DOS 7.1. So we're just going to break out our Windows 98 CD. Here we have Windows 98 Second Edition. We'll connect that in there. Now we'll just go into D drive and then press setup. Setup is now going to perform blah blah blah, I don't care. We are just going to jump into the Windows 98 Second Edition setup. As you can see, the installation is going to be almost identical to Windows 98. So at least it'll be all fine. So as you can see, we're just letting this go by. Now here we are, we're in Windows 98 setup. So yeah, we're gonna continue. So yeah, setup preferring the Windows 98 setup wizard. Yeah, your multi-boot config.sys file may be invalid, blah blah. Yeah, this is our one. Checking for installed components. Yeah, it's just doing its routine check. Yeah, want a normal, typical, portable, blah blah blah. But I'm just, yeah, you know me, full potential. Or if you want the full potential, just go custom. But I like full potential, so I'm going custom. So accessibility, we'll have all components. And for the accessories, we'll have the briefcase, desktop wallpaper, games, mouse pointers, and quick view. We'll have all 12 of them. Of course, I don't need dial-up ATM support, but we're gonna have desktop themes as well, because you know me, I love myself to have internet themes. We'll also have multi-language support and multimedia. I want all 9 components of it, and also I want all 9 of the system tools, and of course web TV for Windows. And Wavetop, that's basically pointless. So we'll click next, and we're gonna have Windows 98 on our thing. And United Kingdom, yep, we're gonna get out our startup disk. So let me just relocate my startup disk. Windows 98 2nd edition boot, connected. We'll go with next, and then so that's our startup disk created. Now we can start copying our files. So we're just gonna get through the file copy progress. But before we get to the registration, we're gonna get the patch 9x thing underway. Anyways, if you want to see how I got the patch 9x IMG working, just watch my past video of the Windows 98 1st edition tutorial, and you'll see what I mean. So as you can see, it's quite a lengthy progress, but we'll get through it. That's what matters the most to us. You'll just keep watching. Yeah, this progress bar is taking quite a while. Anyways, just waiting. More customizable. Yeah, I do apologize if I've got a bit quiet. It's just I'm waiting installation to go by quick. Thank you. Please register your copy of Windows 98. No, thank you. We're not registering a copy just yet. We need to get the patcher ready. So let's just kick in our patcher 9x boot thing, and then we'll power firmware. Now we'll go to boot, removable devices, and our legacy floppy drive. Now we can boot into our floppy disk. So we'll go for free.cmx. So this is needed because Windows 98 knows one thing, so we're just gonna go patch 9x. So we're gonna go for 2. Yeah, we're gonna get the patches underway. There we go. Now we can now we're gonna reboot this. Now restart. So here we are. We are in the Windows 98 setup. So and of course, if you know me, it's Padster the awesome dude. I accept the agreement. Yep, you know me. Product key, link in description. I'll just type that in, skip ahead, and we'll be on our way to the installation. Oh crap. Anyways, yeah, I forgot to stop it doing that, but anyways, we have the product key right here. But anyways, let's just start the wizard. I accidentally showed the product key during the installation, but nevertheless, it's provided in the link in the description below. But still, at least we have at least we have the things we need for Windows 98 second edition, most specifically. There we go. Okay, 34%, 35%. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I kind of go quiet when I .99% complete. All right. Is it checking for any plug and play devices I may have? Okay, now we can restart. So as you can see, the startup screen is basically the same as it was in the original Windows 98 startup. Okay, and now we are in the final stretch of the installation. So, at least that's one thing to know about, is that we finally get out of this world. Now we have our time zone. This time the time zone screen is different. Yeah, my mouse is resisting. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. So as you can see, we're basically installing the final pieces of installation from the CD. And then once we get out of this installation, we have installed Windows 98 2nd Edition. Although we have a few more things to install. So as you can see, it's saying updating system settings. As you can see, it's taking quite a while to get out of this screen, but that's just how things work in Windows 98. You just start this drum until the installation finally completes. Yeah, we're just waiting for this. System settings. Yeah, updating system settings. Yeah, waiting. Waiting to get out of this screen. Jesus, this is taking like an eternity. Alright, now we can restart. I'm keeping the CD in just in case if I need it for anything else. So there we go. We are in Windows 98. Most specifically, Windows 98 2nd Edition. So yeah, I completed updating files, continuing to load Windows. So yeah, we are in Windows 98. As you can see, we just need to give it time. Yeah, as you can hear, that the startup sound is not meant to sound like that. Or a better working PC. No, I don't want to see this screen every time Windows 98 starts. Now, I'm also going to go into the start menu, gonna go into control panel. I'm going to show you that the startup sound is not meant to sound like that. So we have start Windows. Yeah, this sound is showing you what it's actually meant to sound like. And also feel free to add the log off sound. So now the next thing we need to do now is to install VMware tools so we can give it widescreen and a better picture. So yeah, next, then complete, install. Now it's installing all of its drivers. No, I don't want to disconnect. Then finish. And then yes, I'm going to restart. And then we've finally got the VMware tools installed inside of Windows 98. So the next thing to do now is to so as you can see, we are inside of Windows 98 with patch 9x installed and the thing working like new. I don't know why it's always sounding so sped up. Yeah, and also VMware tools is somehow acting up again. So why is it always acting like this? So we need to repair this so we can give it the proper aspect ratio. So yeah, loading, waiting. No, I'm not disconnecting anyway. So if I manage to get this correctly, I should be able to be in widescreen. There we go. Also, yeah, connect to the internet sucks on here as well. Now we've installed Windows 98 2nd edition. But there's still one glaring issue we haven't installed Windows Plus yet. Also, just for the fun of it, I'm also gonna yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I'm even yeah, I'm not even gonna bother installing the modem. But next thing we're gonna do is to install Microsoft Plus. So we'll go into settings and then grab plus 98. No, I didn't want to install this. I wanted to install plus 98. So next one we're gonna install is Windows 98 Plus. Connect. Boom! Why isn't it installing? There we go. Now it's working. So now we can install Microsoft Plus. I'll go to the Microsoft Plus 98. Yeah. So there we go. We are in the Microsoft Plus 98 setup. Also, I need a CD key. Let me just go over to WinWorld quickly and grab it. Also, just for the fun of it, I'm also going to show you the CD key. So, no, I'm not going to scan the system for viruses. Yep, I want the complete one. So, we'll let it install its things. So, as soon as we install this, we'll have a really nice desktop. No, I don't want to run this now. Yep, we'll restart our computer and disconnect our CD. So there we go. And also, when we boot up Windows 98, we have this different startup screen which says Windows 98 Plus. So we have the full potential of Windows 98 installed on our computer. So welcome to Windows 98 2nd edition. I really need to get that problem fixed though. I go into desktop themes. And look at that, we have all themes on there. Here we have Windows 98 256 color. You also have more windows. It actually looks quite nice, not gonna lie. Windows 98 256 color has always been one of my personal faves. Yeah. Yeah, you can't install Access. It gives you that dreaded MSN Internet Access screen, but hey, at least I can use this thing. But there we go, we have Windows 98 installed with its full power. Here we have the default theme. Here we actually have Windows 98 default. So we'll have log off as the default sound. I'll go into desktop theme, so we'll save it as Windows 98 default. Yes, I want to replace it. And of course, looks really nice. So there we go, we have installed Windows 98 default. We have installed Windows 98 2nd edition along with Microsoft Plus. So that is it from me, Pat the Awesome Dude. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to install Windows 98 2nd edition along with Windows 98 Plus. And from me here, this is Pat the Awesome Dude signing off.